Yeah, so anytime I have to go to hospital. Now, accident emergency, I can walk into the local hospital and get my leg sewn back on or whatever. There's so many urgent care facilities now. So if you have an issue, I got an infection in my finger about 2 months ago. And that's not really I need to go to the emergency room to get treated. And I don't like to do that because going to the emergency room is freaking expensive. And you can sit there for 3 hours waiting to be seen by somebody. So they have all these urgent care facilities, but there are dozens of them. They're almost as bad as the Starbucks on the corner of opposite the other Starbucks joke that was going on years ago. But they're everywhere. There's like 5 within walking distance of my house. But, kind of convenient because you can just go in and say, hey, I'm me. Here's proof that I'm me. I seem to have an infection in my finger. Can you give me some antibiotics? And they're like, yep, not a problem. They'll check you out. They'll lance the infection or whatever, and then they'll give you a round of antibiotics and you're good to go, or they'll give you a prescription for. But really, really convenient. And they're not affiliated with anybody. But like I said, there are so many of them. I think there's at least 2 old restaurants that closed down during COVID or just pre-COVID. They're now urgent care facilities. There's a flower shop that's now an urgent care facility. I think there's an old insurance office that is now an urgent care facility. Down by the hospital, there's like 5 just across the road from the hospital, which does mean that, if you haven't attempted to chop your leg off, then you can just go to one of those and it's going to be a lot cheaper. And your insurance is going to be happier because you're not using expensive emergency rooms. But, it's all a thing. Hopefully, and they did tell me it's going to be about 2 weeks before my back is improved such that it's not going to be quite so painful to do things. Oh, here's the tractor. He's done. It's going to be about 2 weeks and I should take it easy. So I can't do any train stuff. I should. It's finding time to do things and, being happy enough to sit here in my office chair, which is, it's comfortable enough, but it's not a luxury recliner. But just sit here. I'm going to have to, once I'm done here, I'm going to have to take a break away from the keyboard completely. And then come back later this afternoon. I really need to watch those tutorial videos. If I watch the tutorial videos, I could start setting up the cut jobs that I want to do. Then they're a little bit more complex than drawing a rectangle. So I need to figure out how to do the things. I did kind of sort of ran a couple of tests through, but I'm cutting over lines, and it just, because the laser is is cutting a line and then cutting it again, because it's cutting multiple shapes, and each shape I'm cutting around each shape as opposed to cutting out the shape that I want, which is a conglomeration of multiple shapes. I ended up covered in soot from the laser burning through the wood. So it would cut out a square and then it would cut out another square, of which part of it was adjacent to the first square it cut out, and there was so much of that. It's soot everywhere. So, and there is a way to set it up so that it just cuts round the outside of the shape you want. And, that's good. But I need to learn how the software works so I can figure out how to do it. And that's the problem, is, people put lessons on YouTube, this is how to do a thing, and it's just finding time to watch them. Do you think I should go and move that tractor into the other field and start it? Yeah, maybe. We'll go down, we'll come back up, we'll jump out, we'll run over to the case. I'll get that started planting the sorghum in what was the wheat field. Now that's actually a thing that it's finding time to do the things. I think if I retired, I would have the time to do the things, but right now I'm not finding. Feel free to give me a suggestion. I am not on Discord right this minute, and maybe at the end of the stream I will take a quick look before I go and sit somewhere else and relax. Okay, that big white field there is mine, so as we get down here, you'll notice here I haven't bothered with the headland. I am just running the rows and running all the way to the edge of the field. That's the nice thing about American fields or American maps, is there's not much in the way of, should we turn the engine on? There's not much in the way of obstruction close to a lot of fields. Okay, I see pallets over here. We did get through a lot of seed, I will say that. So sugar beets, cotton, green beans, canola, corn, sorghum. So I'm going to run over here. We've got 77 litres. There's not a lot left in here. We do have another spare down at the farm. So that's all gone. And I can pull on here and off you go. That looks... I think there's going to be a bit of a plot to the right of the line it's taken. And then all the rest of the field on the left. Anyway, let's finish this job. Oh. I think Giants have changed a little bit on how the workers work, so they try and stay in the bounds of the field. So me running outside the bounds of the field should not be too much of an impediment for tractors, workers in adjacent fields. Now, I still don't have a roller for the farm. So I'm not rolling any of the fields at this time. If one comes up in the store sales, I might get one. But really not, it's not a priority. The priority is to produce and improve and pick the best things that improve the yield. So, okay, I'll take a look at it when I'm done. Oh, you boo. But yes, so really, come on, dude. Yeah, yay. So yeah, it's not rolling and mulching doesn't get you a lot in the way of yield boost, where ploughing and doing the other things, fertilizing, does get you a lot of bonus. So for the most part, getting a roller, getting a mulcher is usually the last thing I get on a farm, because the equipment's quite pricey, and really I don't see a huge benefit right now. Now, eventually, there will be a huge benefit in that I've got so many fields that a 5% improvement on 20 fields is actually worth paying $80,000 for a roller. But right now, paying $80,000 for a roller is most of my spare budget at any given time of the year. Hang on. Excuse me. And how do I get to Discord now? Okay. That's weird. There and how about okay, yeah, that sounds like a plan. Oh, where is my... Okay, now I've messed up my screens. This is why I don't go there. Right. So yes, so your suggestion is to put together a few emotes. Yeah, I don't mind that. Also, I think I did pay you for some stuff that we're kind of in the air about at the moment, and that particular project I think I want on hold for a short while until I figure out where to go, and I can always send you some more money later when we figure out what we're doing and what the actual price is going to be. Let's get this round here. So, anyway, what was I saying? So, yeah. So, rolling and mulching, not a thing I'm going to do for now, but we will. And the thing is sometimes a roller will come up for sale for 30, 40,000, at which point I look at it and say, you know what? Yeah, that's kind of worth it for an extra 5% yield. But you think about, we sold all the corn on the farm. The big field I just planted with soybeans was corn. The yield wasn't brilliant, although I was able to get the fertilizer out there. and do fertilization on it. But even then, the yield was enough to pay to make $90,000. So rolling would get me 5% more is 4,000. So if a roller costs more than $4,000, it's not worth me doing it on one field. Now, if my field income is $300,000, then what is it? 5% of $3,000 is $300,000 is 15,000. So yeah, I'm still not going to pick up a roller for 15,000. Okay, we are done with the rowing. We're done with the mowing. I did change that to sorghum, didn't I? Yes. And as I said, sorghum is an awesome crop to plant because it uses almost no seeds. Might need to open the gate on the side of the shed. Let's do that. I don't use that shed for driving in and out. I do use it for parking things on the side of the barn. It's much easier to do this and then back it in straight than it is, especially since this windrower tries to help you. Sometimes it's not particularly helpful. Ooh. It's now oversteering to the right, but that's okay. And you know what? That's probably good enough. Let's get this tractor out here. And we'll park it in the shade. Brilliant. And engine off. Yes. Jump out. And we will bring this one over. So, what is the time? It's 10 after 11. It's about time I took a break. And I will... So we'll get the mowers cleaned off. Hitch up the baler and... I will then, unfortunately, I can't leave a worker to bale the fields because balers aren't a thing workers know how to use. So that's going to be a very manual job. Just spray that off. Whee! Whoosh. Is that good enough? That's good enough. Actually, that looks quite clean. So, I finally got myself a cleaning thing, cleaning tool. Oh. I'll zoom in a bit so I'm not getting blinded by the roof beams. How's that looking? That's looking a little bit too close to the wall. Forwards. Oh. Alrighty. Let's crash some expensive equipment into some other expensive equipment. And just up to the baler. Alright. Okay. Turn that around. put the weight on the front because it's usually a good idea to keep a weight on a heavy tractor. Heavy tractors usually run with heavy equipment. Okay, we are good. Have stuff and alrighty, so I think that will do us for this week. Unfortunately, as I said, while I'm off tomorrow and it is a holiday in England, I am at the doctor's, so I'm not going to be able to stream, but I will wish you all well. We'll be back next week on Saturday with episode 7, and on Monday episode 8, because Monday is the American version of the summer holiday period. Wow, this guy is making great bounds here and really hasn't used a lot of seed. So this is going to need a lot of spraying later. But anyway, we'll leave it there. So, as I said, I wish you all a good weekend. Have a good week. Have a good vacation if you are, or a holiday if you are in England. But for now, I'm out of here. Have fun, everybody.